Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Martin here from CardsAtHome, and I got a brand new package arrived for me in the post. It arrived for me yesterday, but I was too lazy and I slept through the time for me to pick up from customs. So I'm going to open it finally today. But before I get into that, I just wanted to clear things up from my video that I posted previously to this one about my why I was away for so long. First of all, I just want to thank all of you guys that actually left an actual comment on that last video that I made for me to actually read through. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for leaving those comments. It meant a lot knowing that a lot of people were sharing the same feelings as I was going through. To be honest with you, that is the whole entire reason why I made that video. It was also because I wanted to get out a few things that were laying heavy on me. I just wanted to really let it out there instead of just continue to vent about it and stuff, so I could finally get over it basically. But I knew a bunch of other people within the homemade trading card community were feeling exactly the same as I was, because I know there's a bunch of trading card game makers that are a lot lesser known than even I am, because I would never brag about being very known in the community, but I am very grateful for the support that I do have. But yeah, I know a bunch of you guys are a lot less known than I am, and I know it must be even worse off for you guys. So that is one of the main reasons why I did make that video, because I knew a bunch of people were going through exactly the same thing as I was feeling. I know a lot of people could actually empathize with that kind of video. But yeah, most of all, I just wanted to get things off my chest, get things out there. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I didn't mean to throw any hate towards anybody. I know I used Chaos Galaxy as a big example in that video, because Chaos Galaxy is the biggest example in the trading card game community. But one thing that stood out the most to me, I have to say, would be a comment that I got from TCG Art and Other Random Things, where he said that if I noticed the amount of views that he had gotten on the video where he was opening up my game, which I mentioned in the video, and he said he must have been a bad thing. It really is not a bad thing at all. Seeing someone else open up my card game, that would never be a bad thing. It's just the numbers, because I know exactly how he feels with it, because he told me himself how, you know, he felt like quitting himself because he never really understood where the numbers were coming from or opening up other people's stuff rather than him doing stuff himself. And yeah, that's the whole reason why I was so, you know, I wanted to understand where these numbers were coming from, why I wasn't getting those numbers either. And I know a lot of people are going through that same thought process, because I've talked to a lot of homemade trading card game makers, and yeah, they've all pretty much agreed with what I've said about it. But anyway, with that all out the way and cleared up, I'm just going to get on to open up this package. That's what you were waiting for, so let's get... motherfucking drop. You didn't see that. Just before we go ahead with opening up the thing, I hate customs. It's so expensive. I mean, I'm broke. So, you know, why else would I be making a card game on the internet? I'm broke. Yeah, I'm just going to change the camera angle. I've waffled on enough, and open up this box, so let's do it. Okay folks, welcome back. In this package should be Travel Decks 3 and 4, the Psychic Matches and FEDs finally in their reprinted versions and updated versions. And I'm sorry it's so bright, I hope you can see properly. There you go, you can see better there, but when I put it down it's not too good. I'm now just going to grab something to open it up with. I'm wasting too much time already, so let's do it. This should cut it, right? Okay, let's do it. That didn't work. Okay, we finally have it open. Damn, those are looking really impressive. I'm liking them so far. Alright, so wow, they feel really different. The packaging is not the same. It's really loose. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess it must just be new wrapping from the Game Crafter, that's what it's called. Right, so anyway, on the right here we have Travel Deck 3 for the Psychic Mafias, and on the left we have Travel Deck 4 from the FEDs. And first we're going to open up the Psychic Mafias, and then we're going to get onto the FEDs. Okay, so let's unwrap this. It doesn't even feel like it's actually even stuck onto it or anything. Damn. Okay, so here on the front we have the main card of the deck, which is called Don Miori. I'm sure you can't really see it very well because it's not focusing that much on my camera because it's my mobile phone, but we just have the little logo here. It says on the side, don't underestimate the Mafia, and on the other side we've got another picture of Don Miori. On the back we just got a little blurb like we have on Travel Deck 1 and 2, my little YouTube page and whatnot. But yeah, let's just open it up. Dropped it, my bad. Okay, so in the deck you get 50 cards along with a rule book, again just like in Trial Deck 1 and Trial Deck 2. And I've got a good feeling that the cards are not going to be ordered just like Trial Deck 1 and Trial Deck 2 came, so I'm going to just reorganize them and I'm going to go through them. Okay, I finally reorganized the cards in the deck and I shall now just run you through them, what you get inside the deck I guess. So you'll get one super rare copy of Don Mamiyuri, one common copy of Don Mamiyuri, one super rare copy of Right Hand Man Fellini, one common copy of Right Hand Man Fellini. You get 4 copies of Wise Guy Frankie, which are rares. 4 copies of Hard Dealer Federico, which are also rares. 4 Family Man Cristianos, which are also rares. 4 Psychic Replicas, which are also rare. Then you get 4 Casual Swindler Luciano, which are commons. 4 Espionage Esper, which are commons, and I am so happy with how this came out now, because when I first made this card, you could just not see him at all, because I did it digitally, so the colors couldn't just kind of like, they didn't contrast very well, so they all just kind of came out in the same color, so you could hardly even see what it was. It was just like a black picture. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this one came out now. Then there's 4 copies of Psy Kid, 4 copies of Info Broker, which are common by the way, and so is Psy Kid and also Espionage as well. I'm not sure if I said that. Then there are 2 copies of Psy Spy, which is the only card in the game with 0 power, which is common too. Then you get 2 Linked Foresight Wayne, which is also common. Then you go on to the spells in the deck. You get 1 copy of Psychic Reaction, which is a super rare. Then you get 1 copy of Psychic Reaction, which is a common. Then you get 2 copies of Dancing Shadows, which are commons. 2 Inherited Souls, which are commons. 2 Equivalent Exchange, which are commons. 1 Emergency Blessings, and also 1 Fatigue Supplements. Okay, so that's Trial Deck 3 out of the way. Now we're just going to jump onto Trial Deck 4 for the FEDs, and I am so happy with how this came out. This just looks really good, so I'm actually really excited to open this up. So yeah, let's just open it up. And just like with the Psychic Mafia deck, you have the main card on the front with the logo, and obviously it says Trial Deck at the bottom. But this time on the side it says, "It's time you knew your place," with the main character again on the side, which is called Fearsome Authority Head Chief Ed Roy. I almost forgot his name there. And then obviously on the back you just have the blurb again. But I really like how the box colours came out. It was originally going to be grey and white, but I just kind of just like the difference, I guess. It makes the picture more stand out a lot more. But yeah, anyway, let's just open it up. Okay, again within the box you get a rule book, just like you do with Trial Deck 1, 2 and 3. And then you get the 50 card deck, which again is going to be in a random order, so I'm just going to reorganize them and then I'll come back and show you through them. Okay, so I've just reorganized the FED deck, and just by a glance of going through all of the cards, I have to say that the rarities in this deck has been the best so far in all of the trial decks. I actually thought that these would come out the worst, because when I was getting the preview on the Game Crafter for these cards to be made, the rarities didn't show up very well, which on the other way around with the Rune Knight deck from Trial Deck 2, the rarities didn't show up at all. So yeah, even though they were the ones that was like, they showed up the most when the Game Crafter gave me a preview. But yeah, I'm really happy with how the rarities in this deck came out. So yeah, I'm just gonna get on with the deck now. So yeah, you get in the deck you get 1 copy of a super rare Fearsome Authority Head Chief Edroid. Then you get 1 copy of a common version of Fearsome Authority Head Chief Edroid. Then you get 1 copy of a super rare Riot Shield Ryan. Then you get a copy of a common Riot Shield Ryan. Then you get 4 copies of First Squadron Bob, which are rares. Then you get 4 copies of Superhuman Superintendent, which are also rares. Then you get 4 copies of Cyborg Sergeant Surge, which are also rares. Then you get 4 copies of Stun Gun Trigger, which are also rares. Then you get 4 copies of Immaculate Rookie, which are commons. Then you get 4 copies of Specialist Cadet Rose, which are also commons, which I also know is a fan favourite of a follower of mine. which goes by the name of Mad Joker. His Instagram will be down below because he's a really cool artist, so be sure to check him out as well. But then we have 4 copies of Protobot OB221, which are commons. Then you have 4 copies of Prodigious Detective Reed, which are also commons. Then you get 2 copies of High Intel Inspector, which are commons. Then you get 2 copies of Support Wagon, which are commons. And then we move on to the spells. Now this card actually looks really, really amazing. I didn't think it would look this good. It looks even better on camera than it does in person, so yeah. So moving on to the spells, we have 1 super rare version of Backup Enforces Delta Formation. Then you have the common version of Backup Enforces Delta Formation. Then you have 2 copies of Blinding Guidance, which are commons. 2 copies of Inherited Soul, which are also commons. 2 copies of Equivalent Exchange, which are commons. 1 Emergency Blessings, and then also 1 Fatigue Supplements, which are commons. Now there is one big thing about this deck, the FEDs. There are a lot of changes to the cards within this deck compared to when I first got them printed and made. Because a lot of people were telling me how unbalanced they were compared to every other deck. And which I told everyone they needed to be kind of unbalanced because they weren't going to get any support anytime soon within the game. But when I think things through, this is only early stages of the game, so the cards need to be a little bit more nerfed at the start. So I kind of went over the cards a bit more and I tried to nerf them a bit more feral, which I will be showing in another video. I'll be going over the card comparisons and whatnot. So yeah, do be sure to look out for that. Now there is also one final thing I would like to mention with the trial decks. It is the rulebook. Now I had been told this before that there is, I noticed this before too myself, that there is this random white page for the last page, which I must have made a huge mistake when I was making the cards and making the rulebook, which I understand. It's because it's it has to be even numbers and whatnot, it has to be pages of 4. So yeah, it's just an added random useless page that has nothing on it. But I had an idea which I had gotten from my girlfriend one night, and she had told me that I should make this into some kind of like fans can draw their own card or their own card ideas on here and submit it to me somehow, either send it to me or take a picture of it. Make your own little Resolution Breakers card on the back of the notebook if you want. And yeah, that actually sounded like a really cool idea, which I may actually write on the back just in case anyone buys it and they come across the back page and they're like, what's this back page here for? So yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea. So yeah, if any of you have the trial decks and you come across this page, yeah, maybe you can design your own little Resolution Breakers card if you want, if you feel up to it. But anyway, that is the unboxing for trial decks 3 and 4. The Psychic Mafia's Into the Shadows and the FEDs from Within Hope. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Do be sure to leave down below which deck you would rather use, and also tell me which was your favourite art within both decks. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Until then.